So you decided to click on the book. You decided that you wanted to hear me explain, in layman's terms, pretty much why forest fires are not inherently a bad thing. So, going to the beginning, uh, the beginning of the fire that kind of inspired this. I have wanted to do a video about why forest fires aren't bad, and I really want to get out to the Blackwater Preserve, but that's about an hour away, and I figure if I can get out there with a couple of friends, it'd be more fun to, make the drive and hang out there for a few hours, because, adventures are more fun with friends. But in the meantime, we did have this forest fire at the Great Dismal Swamp. Oh, that's such a redundant name, because dismal is just a word for swamp. I'm just going to call it the Great Dismal. We did have a forest fire get started last week, Wednesday, when lightning struck either, a dead tree or some dry brush in the swamp, and it started smoldering and it started a fire. This is what happens all the time in nature. Before humanity had an effect on the botany and growth cycle of plants in the Americas, fires would happen. They would destroy the underbrush, and the smaller plants and things like poison ivy would burn, and all the tinder and kindling that just sits in the forest would be burn away, and then new plants would come in. After a few months, you'd get plants like Sarracenia and Venus flytraps, plants that don't need nutrients from the soil to grow, and these what's the word pioneer plants would come in and prepare the soil, and as they lived a few cycles, the soil would, they'd replenish nutrients. The acidity from the fire would, dissipate, and then, the second, round of frontiers plants would be able to move in, and then you'd have new shrubs and bushes growing in the forest again. Fire is also important because there are pine trees that need the heat from flames to open up their cones. And if the cones don't open, then they're not going to reproduce, and then there are no new pine trees, which has been a bit of an issue. The problem with the fire that's been going on at the Great Dismal for the past week is that it was an uncontrolled fire. Normally, like at the Zuni Blackwater Preserve or the Great Dismal, there are controlled fires where they build, a break fire line, they build a break line, and, they check the weather, and they have firefighters there to keep their fire, maintained so that the ecosystem can continue. This has been an uncontrolled blaze, and it's kind of just smoldering in the underbrush because there's so much there. I had the opportunity to visit both Zuni and the Great Dismal when I was in a field botany course a few summers ago. Fantastic experience. If you know of any pine preserves in your area, I think it'd be a really cool thing if you could get in contact with who maintains them, especially, if it is a preserve, and see if they'd be willing to give you a tour or explain more, as they'd be able to explain it better than I can. It's been a few years since I took this course, and I do still have my notes, but it's just not the same. But that is why forest fires aren't inherently bad. Humans consider them bad because, it's fire and it's out of control and has the potential to burn down and kill the, originally would kill the animals, or scare away the animals that the humans wanted to consume, or it would destroy human homes. So humans work to stop these fires, but in working to stop these fires, they're messing up the ecosystems. So, this is just, swamp areas are just an ecosystem where fire is supposed to happen, but humans need to work harder at making sure that the fires are controlled when they do happen. We can't stop lightning, but, maintain, active fire regimens. What I'm saying is specifically for the pine barrens that I visited here in Virginia, at the border of North Carolina and southeastern Virginia in the Tidewater region. I'm not quite sure how much this pertains to the forest fires that happen every year in California. I've not done any research into what type of trees or the types of fires that happen. It's potentially a very similar situation, since fires happen so often that, a lightning strike fire, not the ones where, human didn't put out their, campfire. That's bullshit. I mean, lightning strike fire like this one. I mean, it's an accident that is still affecting people. That's really all I have to say on this topic. If you want to check out what I had to say about an art piece, you can click here on the CD. And if not, you can kind of just stare at me until this ends. I mean, that's what I end up doing. I do just staring because sometimes people do something silly after the stop holding up whatever they're going to hold up, for the link. Adios. I hope you enjoyed this video idea, and I'll see you all tomorrow.